Hitler 1444. Look, yeah, you guys don't know shit. Don't listen to him.
No.
You beaners should be to throw at the border.
Greetings, everyone. When was the last time you heard about some drunk racist crashing a golf club? Doesn't happen every day, right? Well, that's exactly what went down when 19-year-old Branbert J. Brundinel got himself arrested at a golf course in Scottsdale, Arizona. Closed course, drunk out of his mind, and trespassing like he owned the place. Now, if you're wondering who this Branbert guy is, he happens to be this guy who went viral for all the wrong reasons. And yes, that includes openly showing love to that one famous dictator from World War II. Curious to know what other crazy stuff this dude's been up to? Let's get into it.
Police have arrested a young man on suspicion of trespassing at the WM Phoenix Open, and they're looking into a viral video where he's seen making racist and sexist remarks, calling for violence against Mexicans and invoking Hitler's name.
Alright, so what you're watching is pretty wild and definitely provocative. The guy in view here is none other than Branbert J. Brundinel, and let's just say he's got some questionable opinions about Mexicans and Hitler. Now, before he was out here crashing golf courses like he owned the place, Branbert was just another face at the WM Phoenix Open in Scottsdale, Arizona. But for some reason, he thought it'd be a genius idea to lecture two random women about Mexicans and Nazis in a bar at the complex. This guy legit morphed into a Nazi lecturer right on the spot. One of the two ladies, who was clearly not having it, whipped out her phone and started recording as he went off on this hateful rant. In this video, you can see Brundinel making this hand gesture that looks like 1488, which, if you're not familiar, isn't just some random number. According to the Anti-Defamation League, it's a numerical code used by neo-Nazis and white supremacists. Here's the breakdown. The 14 stands for 14 words, slogan, which is all about preserving a future for white children. Then there's the 88, which represents Heil Hitler. Since H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, when you put those numbers together, they're basically endorsing white supremacy and all the messed up beliefs that come with it.
Do you know what 1444 means?
Your number. What does it mean?
14 means Hitler.
Do you have a? You go to
Don't
school
listen
in
to
Joel,
him.
huh?
Hitler 1444. Look,
No.
1444, yeah.
I'm recording him, so
Yeah.
exactly.
But that wasn't enough for Branbert. Oh no, he decided to take it a step further. He actually said that Mexican immigrants should have their throats s***ed. Yeah, he went that far. At one point, Brundinel takes his racist rant up a notch, adding the N-word to border hopping when talking about Mexicans. Moments before that, he had already thrown out another slur aimed at Mexicans and Mexican Americans, making it crystal clear that this wasn't just some offhand comment. It was full-blown, unapologetic hate speech.
Say something about Mexicans. Say something about them.
Oh, Mexicans.
No, exactly.
Oh, we
No,
can get
say
in a
something,
rabbit
you
hole.
Hitler.
Let's not You dive want to down a
Say
rabbit hole.
something.
You
You
want
ugly
to
That's why you came
know
to us
something about
Mexican.
Mexicans?
Yeah, say something.
You goddamn beaners should be at the throat at the border. We should you goddamn beaners at the throat. You want to know why? Come here. Bring the camera.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah, bring the
I'm
camera.
listening.
Bring the camera in.
Yeah, I'm
You
listening.
want to know why you goddamn beaners should be at their throat? Listen, because you guys are goddamn border hoppers.
And when the women filming him pushed back, instead of backing down or realizing he was way out of line, Brundinel doubled down with personal attacks. He turned his attention to them, throwing out insults like fat girl, and calling them dumb.
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys dumbass bitches don't know shit. Don't listen to him.
No.
Don't listen to Fat
Hey.
girl. Yeah, what? What
The woman who had the 19-year-old Brundinel on video wrote in a caption that she and her friends were doing our own thing, and he approached us and started making comments about Mexican men, so we started recording. One look at the video and you can tell it was like the young man had no filter, no self-awareness, and no concern for how his words would come back to haunt him. Well, it did, because after the video went viral, the Phoenix Open didn't waste any time responding to the incident. They put out a statement saying that Brandbird had been banned from their event for good. They also emphasized that both the management and the sponsors of the Open have a strict zero-tolerance policy when it comes to hate speech. As a result, Brandbird isn't just banned from the Phoenix Open, he's banned from all future PGA Tour events. Yep, this guy's days of spectating at these golf tournaments are officially over. But you know what else? The consequences didn't end there. You see, the baseball cap Brandbird is wearing, the logo on it is security company Vivint, and apparently the 19-year-old works for them. These days it's more like worked. And that's because after doing an internal investigation, they decided to fire him. Not that they had to waste time seeing how Brundle made it easy for them appearing on camera. And you know what's interesting? Apparently, he hadn't even been working there for 3 months before this went down. Call it karma, call it poetic justice, or just call it Brundle being Brundle. Either way, his week went from bad to worse. After making his grand and completely unhinged entrance into the internet's hall of shame, the guy somehow managed to get himself arrested at a golf course. Now you might be wondering, what was he even doing there? Well, turns out, Brundle showed up at TPC Scottsdale. Yes, the same place he was banned from, and decided to take a little nighttime stroll near the second hole. Problem is the course was closed, and in case it wasn't already obvious, security wasn't exactly rolling out the red carpet for him. Scottsdale police say Brundle took off when security tried to stop him. But running isn't exactly his strong suit. Officers eventually caught up with him, and that's when things got even more ridiculous. When asked for his name, he straight up refused to give it. Oh, and did I mention, he was also underage and had been drinking. Because, yeah, that was another charge they hit him with. Brundle was still in the same green shirt he was wearing in the infamous video when he had his mugshot. Only difference is, dude looked quite sober. So in the span of just a few days, Brundle went from ranting about Mexicans and Hitler to getting banned from golf events to ending up in Scottsdale jail. He was booked on suspicion of criminal trespassing, refusing to ID himself, and underage alcohol consumption. Safe to say, life came at him fast. Funny enough, when the cops arrested Brundle at the golf course, they had no idea about the racist video that had already made him internet infamous. Scottsdale police later confirmed they've since been in touch with the person who originally posted the footage. And yeah, they're taking it seriously. A report has been filed and an investigation into the video is now officially in motion. Not exactly the best time to be Brandbird J. Brundle. But here's the kicker. This isn't even his first run-in with the law. This right here is another mugshot of a younger Brundle in a black t-shirt for a crime we can't say exactly. Turns out the guy has a bit of a history. So you could say he's been on this downward spiral for a while. Meanwhile, the internet is doing what the internet does best, roasting him into oblivion. The viral video quickly got on Reddit, and let's just say they're not holding back. The memes, the satire, the sheer level of public humiliation, it's brutal. But beyond just being another case of a guy tanking his life with hate speech, Brundle's moment of infamy is part of a much bigger pattern. Lately, there's been a string of incidents where people have been publicly reprimanded for making Nazi-related gestures or comments. Ever since certain high-profile figures were caught on camera throwing up what looked like tributes to Hitler and Nazis, it seems like some folks now feel bold enough to follow suit. Brundle is now part of an ever-growing list of people who thought they could get away with making Nazi-adjacent gestures or comments in public. Take clergyman Calvin Robinson, for example. He lost his priest's license with the Anglican Catholic Church after he decided it'd be a good idea to mimic the so-called Nazi salute that Elon Musk made at an event celebrating Donald Trump's inauguration last month. That stunt cost him his position. And now he's got a whole new reputation that has nothing to do with being a man of God. Brundle might not be a clergyman, but his downfall is following the same pattern. People seeing something controversial, deciding to copy it, and then facing real-world consequences when the backlash hits. The difference? Unlike Robinson, he added an extra layer of racism and outright hate speech to the mix. So while Robinson lost his career, he's dealing with job loss and a criminal record. If you're into content that breaks down stories like this, whether it's viral controversies, public meltdowns, or people facing the consequences of their actions, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.